this video for Accessory 1, the mapping game for D100 Dungeon. Basically the mapping game is a way of playing D100 Dungeon but on a table in front of you where you can lay out cards for mapping your dungeons and use various different components to be able to play a quest dungeon delve of D100 Dungeon with like a board game type of feel. It's available from the Game Crafter and print and play from Drive-Thru RPG. If you buy the print and play version, then you don't get a box with it. This is the box from the Game Crafter. On the back it says the D100 Dungeon mapping game has been designed to provide you with an alternative way to play D100 Dungeon. It combines the D100 Dungeon rulebook with cards and tokens to give your quests a board game feel. It says the D100 Dungeon rulebook is required to use the mapping game. Okay, so essentially you'll get this box, and inside you'll get various packs of tokens that are going to need to be punched out. And there's a disclaimer that the Game Crafter put on their laser cut components. Just to advise you that there's some soot because they laser cut them. They create a bit of soot on the tokens themselves. So that's how kind of you'll get a lot of the components. These crystals obviously will be supplied in little baggies, and the little meeple man as well. So let's take a look at the components. There's 3 main token pools that you'll be drawing from. You've got the door token pool, geographic token pool and the encounter token pool. And what they do is, instead of rolling on those 3 tables, what you will do is you will draw a token from those pools and place them on your mapping cards. So really we need to look at the mapping cards. So the mapping cards contain I think it's 96 of the map diagrams from table M, and the reason why there's only 96 is we removed 4 for production costs. So to try and keep this as cheaply as possible, these cards are printed in sheets of 18 I think, and so if we added the last remaining 4 cards, then that would have then added 14 unused cards for the game. So it was mainly a production reason. So don't be surprised when you get this if the numbers at the bottom of these cards are only pointing you to that you notice that some are missing, for instance. And what I did is I went through the mapping table and I took out duplicates of areas that were identical to one another, so you've got the most varied amount of diagrams that are available. Just have a look at the contents page and we'll go through it. So you get this rule book, you get the adventure marker, which is your meeple. Some people like to replace that with a painted figure, which is fine. You get 56 monster cards plus a bonus monster card. So you get a zombie lord and a goblin king. On one side of the cards is the monsters from table E, and on the reverse is the monsters from table EA. So if you've table E is found in the D100 Dungeon rulebook, and table EA is from the Adventurer's Companion Book 2. So you've got 2 lots of monsters contained within the game. And they range from 1 to 53, and then you've got this bonus monster as well, which is from they're both from table from the Adventurer's Companion Book 2. So that's nice, and all the information is on the card. So you've got their attack value, their defense, their damage value, health points value, kill value, and any monster abilities they've got. The ones in green are standard monsters, the ones in blue are undead monsters, and the ones in red are demon monsters. So you've got a quick point of reference there to spot those when you're looking for certain specific cards. Okay, so that's the monster cards. Then you've got the map cards, and like we said, there's 96 of them, and we've explained the reason for them. There's the colours marked up on the border of which colour room there are, area they are. So you've got the yellows, greens, reds and blues. And we've got 24 overlay counters. So these are the overlay counters that are, when you draw a counter from table G or you roll on table G, some of these areas need a way of marking. You would normally be told to mark your dungeon sheet with these features, but these are basically to replace them. So we've got things like moss, put a moss in those three. We've got a river there, we've got the lava, we've got some chasms with bridges, we've got chasms that can't be crossed, you've got the spider's web, two types of staircase that you can use. So if you happen to find two staircases while you're on an adventure, you've got those. An uncrossable chasm and the caving as well. So you've got those elements that, when you draw a green card, you'll be able to place those as you come to them. And we've got these door counters, and we'll have a look at those. I'll do a bit of a layout of the cards as you would play it to demonstrate how it would work. So there's 37 door cards, there's 53 monster cards, 37 door counters, 53 monster counters, 56 geographic counters. There's 4 find counters, so if you're rolling on table F, there's some find counters there. There's some green search crystals and some blue door crystals, and we'll have a look at those as we go. Okay, so the rule book has got how you use the mapping game and how you set them up. There's a set of 7 steps to follow when you create them. Your map cards, how you set them up. Your door counters, how you work those out. Monster cards and the counters. So based on the encounter modifier will determine how many of these counters you would actually use. So you'd place a specific number into a pool. Then you've got your geographic counters and the geographic overlay counters there. Some information about the monster numbers there, and some other rules to observe when you're playing. And on the back is a bit of a cheat sheet on how to use these overlay counters and how they're placed in the game. So let's sort of do a bit of a demonstration of how you might play a game. So you begin turn 1, you spend your oil and so forth, then you draw a map card. Instead of rolling on table M, you draw a map card and you place your position of where your adventure is on that map card. And then you might, it's a yellow card, so there's nothing really to do there, but you might want to search. So if you search the area, you would roll on table F. Let's say you you finished that up, and then you'd mark that card with a search token to say that you've searched it. Okay, and then that tells you can't search that again. The next thing you do is you then begin a new turn, so you're looking for exit. So we could just go through there. There's a door shown on the map card there, so to use that exit I would need to draw a door token. So let's say we just drew an open one. These would be all face down, so you wouldn't know what you was drawing, but let's say we drew that. We'd place that on that space there, and then we'd use it. So we'd open it up, we'd have a look, see what door we got, and we see we've got a door code of 0. So we know that's open, but if you didn't know what the door code meant, you would then go to your book, your D100 dungeon book, and you would look up what door code you'd revealed. Okay, so let's because it's open, you can then discard that, and then we're going in that direction, so you draw another card. Okay, so in this case we've got another yellow room, so we would move into there, fulfill our turn sequence, and then we'd maybe or maybe not search that area, and then we begin a new turn, and this time we go this way. So we go this way, and then we draw another card. And while you're placing these cards, you place them where the white arrow is pointing the direction the adventure is travelling. So that would be wrong, but that would be right. So we would move into that area. and because it's a geographic area we would need to draw a counter for that, one of these geographic counters. And let's say we got a token that meant we had to place one of these on. So let's say we got this one with the bridge. What you do is you've got the white arrow, you then correspond that white arrow with the green arrow to place it across that tile. So that's now, instead of us doing it on paper we would have to draw that on, this is now doing that for us. And then we move our token in there and we can place them on that side of the bridge. Okay, and then we begin our turn, and to continue across, say we wanted to go that way, we would need to make a skill test across that bridge. If we wanted to go this way, then we would just simply draw another card. So we've moved now that way, and then we move our adventure in there, and because that is a red area we need to draw a monster. So let's say we drew that one, and we've got E42. At that point what you would do is then search for your monster card that had E42 written on it. Okay, and if you wanted to play, in this case we've encountered a RAF. At the start of the game you could decide to use encounter table EA from the Adventurer's Companion, and what you would do is you would simply take this deck of cards and then just flip it over. So now you're using cards from the table EA, the Adventurer's Companion. So we would find encounter 42 and see that we have actually encountered a cockatrice. So then we could then begin combat with that monster. Okay, so that's like a little bit of a demo of how you would actually play it. If you say on that door, let's say we drew a locked door, say L5, and what you'd normally do in the game, you would make a test to see whether any keys that you had on the adventure sheet that you'd marked on your key track was one of the keys that you've marked off that opened that lock. So you would make a test for that, and if it wasn't on the paper version, you would tick it. Well, in this, what you would do is you would mark it with one of these door crystals, and that's how they're used. So because if we rolled and we failed our key test, we'd mark that with a door. That's actually a lever actually. No, it's a door, sorry. It's a locked door. So we would mark off that we'd tried to open that with the keys that we had on our adventure sheet, and was unsuccessful. So anytime we went back to that locked door, we would know that none of our keys would work for that lock, and we would have to make a lock picking test. So that's how that works. And then if you happen to find, let's say this adventurer searched this area and they actually found a key and marked a new pip on their key track, then that would get removed, because there's another chance now that that key that we picked up could open that lock. So that's a little insight on how keys and locked keys will work. So I think I've pretty much covered the vast majority of this with this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and in the next one we're going to be taking a look at the game sheets from the Game Crafter. So please look out for that, and until next time, take care.